Everything about the dark web, the most mysterious and dangerous place on the internet. As we all know, what humanity can see on the internet is only 10% of what lies beneath, much like the tip of an iceberg. On the surface, we encounter familiar entities like Google, Facebook, YouTube, and various websites. However, beneath this surface lies an underworld, a dark side that instills fear in anyone due to the experiences it offers. For those daring enough to venture into this abyss, there are two worlds. The shallower part, known as the deep web, and the deepest layer, the 18th circle of hell, referred to as the dark web. This is where the main characters of our story today reside. Alphabet, the most bustling marketplace of the internet's underworld. All it takes is cryptocurrency and knowledge of how to access the dark web, and you can buy anything your heart desires. In this world of anonymity and black markets, users first need specialized software to access the deep web and dark web. The most popular software for this purpose is called the Onion Router, or Tor for short, developed by experts in the U.S. military in the 1990s. Back then, it was used to conceal the identities of online intelligence agents, ensuring they weren't exposed during missions. Later, the software was released to the public for free, with the rationale that the more people used it, the more noise it would create, making it harder for adversaries to sift through sensitive information. This, in turn, allowed U.S. intelligence agencies to operate more effectively. Beyond intelligence and military purposes, Tor gradually became a favorite tool for journalists, political activists, hackers, and even cybercriminals. Anyone looking to hide their identity while accessing the internet. Tor's purpose is to enable web browsing without revealing one's identity. With Google search, it's easy to trace a user's IP address, but in the online world, exposing your IP is akin to revealing your hideout while being a wanted fugitive. Thus, Tor provides a solution by masking the user's real IP with a fake one, often located dozens or even hundreds of kilometers away. Tor also has its own search tools, ensuring users aren't tracked by third parties. Tor's use depends entirely on the user's intentions, whether for good or evil is their choice. It's highly regarded because, with browsers like Chrome or Internet Explorer, a user's identity and location can easily be traced. However, when browsing with Tor, user information and domain servers are locked down and protected at the highest level. In general, Tor is a near-perfect tool for those who prefer to live anonymously, avoiding unwanted attention, while still wanting to speak out and be heard. On the flip side, it can also be a tool for criminals seeking to hide their identities while committing wrongdoing. In this anonymous world, there are bustling marketplaces, but they don't use conventional currencies for transactions. Instead, they rely on cryptocurrencies. With the rise of digital technology, cryptocurrencies, or crypto, began to emerge, with Bitcoin being the earliest, appearing in 2009. Based on blockchain technology, it was developed by a group, or possibly a single mysterious programmer, known as Satoshi Nakamoto. With Bitcoin's arrival, illegal transactions began to flourish in the Internet's underworld. The first black market on the dark web bore a familiar name: the Silk Road. In mid-2010, Ross Ulbricht, along with two friends, created the Silk Road, claiming they built the platform to allow people to experience the freedom of buying and selling anything. However, this claim seems far from the truth, as the Silk Road was filled with items that could turn a human into a monster, from precursor chemicals for drugs to common illegal substances like marijuana, meth, and ecstasy. Customers wishing to log into this website were required to purchase an account and pay a monthly fee. Once purchased, the Silk Road provided them with trusted sources to download Tor, helping them avoid surveillance by agencies like the FBI or the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA. Each time users logged in, alongside banned substances, the Silk Road also sold illegal firearms and ammunition, credit cards, IDs, and even fake driver's licenses. To avoid being tracked, All transactions on the Silk Road were conducted using Bitcoin, not cash. The Silk Road survived until late 2013, when Ross Ulbricht was arrested in California. The FBI seized 26,000 Bitcoins from Silk Road accounts, equivalent to $36 million at 2013 prices. By late October 2013, the FBI confiscated an additional 144,344 Bitcoins, valued at $87 million. After the Silk Road, no other credible black market seemed to emerge, or if they did, they were either shut down, like Silk Road 2.0, or turned out to be massive scams, costing users tens of thousands of Bitcoins, as seen in the case of dark web evolution. In November 2014, around the time Silk Road 2.0 was taken down, a new black market emerged, named Alphabay. Following the massive evolution scam, Alphabay saw remarkable growth. In just 3 short days, the site gained 18,000 new users and 7,000 forum posts. Daily transactions were recorded at up to $300,000 in Bitcoin, and within a year, Alphabay added 200,000 more users. 2 years after its launch, Alphabay surpassed 400,000 users, becoming the most bustling black market on both the internet and the real world. In fact, it was the largest black market the world had ever seen, offering more listings than any market before it. In terms of interface, Alphabay's user experience was not unlike Amazon or eBay, with items categorized for easy browsing. Users could find anything they needed, from drugs and chemical precursors to counterfeit money, stolen electronics like laptops and cameras, and even tools for living anonymously, such as fake driver's licenses, passport numbers, credit cards, and stolen or fake social security numbers. And that's not all. This marketplace also sold weapons, ranging from the most primitive to fully automatic firearms banned under U.S. law. Even more dangerous was its hitman service. Just pay enough, and the person you want eliminated would say goodbye to the world. In short, with Bitcoin, you could buy the entire world on Alphabay. Alphabay even had a review section, similar to e-commerce platforms, where users could rate whether a seller was trustworthy, if the product was high quality, or if it was adulterated. Alphabay's operational model earned it high praise from dealers. To shop on the site, you couldn't use credit cards or PayPal. Only Bitcoin, Monero, and Ethereum were accepted. These cryptocurrencies are anonymous in theory, meaning you don't know who you're sending money to. All you need is a wallet ID to send funds and a password to access your own wallet. To make a purchase, you send crypto to an intermediary wallet, and once you receive the goods, the funds are automatically transferred to the seller's wallet. Alphabay charged a commission of 2 to 4% on each transaction. With hundreds of thousands of transactions daily, Alphabay raked in a significant amount of Bitcoin. However, no matter how well it hid, Alphabay's massive transaction volume ultimately failed to escape the eyes of investigators. Law enforcement agencies worldwide, known for targeting sites like Alphabay, worked tirelessly to shut them down. As the world's leading black market, it attracted significant attention from government agencies. The mastermind revealed, all because of an email address. Alphabay and its operator, known up to this point as Alpha02, remained in the shadows. However, its activities had caught attention, and investigations were launched in the U.S., UK, Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands. Investigators tried to narrow down and gather as many clues as possible about Alphabay's operator, Alpha02. But the more they searched, the more they hit dead ends, simply because Alpha02 was too good at covering his tracks. He didn't even make a single mistake in revealing the server's location or his identity. All of Alpha02's transactions were encrypted using PGP, a highly secure encryption method that was nearly impossible to crack at the time. To track down Alphabay's server, FBI investigators even went undercover, buying illegal drugs directly from the site. They created accounts and were provided with enough Bitcoin to conduct transactions. Initially, a small amount of weed was purchased, and just a few days later, they received the package via mail. However, the sender's address was fake, and they couldn't uncover any significant leads, not even about the seller, except for one detail. The package was sent from California. Undeterred, the FBI investigators ordered another banned item, this time brown sugar, heroin. But once again, the investigation hit a dead end. The FBI continued purchasing item after item on Alphabay, hoping to find a clue to gather more evidence about the illegal activities in this black market, but they went from one disappointment to another. Over 50 transactions involving banned goods, along with various items like driver's licenses, social security numbers, and ATM cards, resulted in their crypto expenditure growing exponentially. Do you think the FBI would never catch Alpha-02? If so, we wouldn't have today's video. In the least expected place, they finally found the most valuable piece of information. When an FBI agent created a new account on Alphabay, he received a welcome email, and the first clue came to the FBI through that very email. The clue that caught their attention was in the email's introduction, with an address listed as pimplex91@hotmail.com. The FBI immediately recorded the email address and brought it to Microsoft, the company operating Hotmail, demanding full details of the owner for investigative purposes. And finally, the name of Alphabay's mastermind, Alpha-02, came to light. It was a young Canadian man, born in 1991, named Alexander Cases. Cases' birth year perfectly matched the number 91 in the email address the FBI had in hand. Expanding the investigation, the FBI learned that Cases was described as highly intelligent, with an IQ of up to 140. A computer prodigy, he had been a black hat hacker since the age of 14. Following the email trail, FBI investigators reached Cases' LinkedIn profile on the professional networking site. From there, the FBI was led to the next piece of the puzzle they were seeking, the Alphabay server, hosted by a tech company named EBX, located in Montreal, Canada. At the time Alphabay's server was exposed, Cases had been hiding in Thailand for over a year before his arrest. Alexander Cases lived a quiet life with his Thai girlfriend in a middle-class residential area on the outskirts of Bangkok. Everything about them seemed ordinary, including Cases himself, a man who looked like a typical IT worker, fairly handsome, though a bit sloppy in his attire. But there was one thing that puzzled everyone. How could a seemingly ordinary young man like Cases own a gray Lamborghini worth nearly $1 million, a Porsche, and a Mini Cooper for his girlfriend? All this extravagance appeared in a neighborhood where the average home cost less than $120,000, and most people drove pickup trucks at best. Neighbors assumed Cases had a legitimate job, perhaps with some investments that yielded profits. But no one suspected that this young man was the mastermind behind Alphabay, the largest black market on the internet, nor that Cases was a wanted fugitive. Operation Bayonet. Thanks to investigative efforts, as well as information obtained from the takedown of the dark website, Hansa, by investigators from the Netherlands and Germany, the FBI finally obtained clues about Cases' whereabouts in Thailand. FBI investigators immediately set out for Thailand's capital, Bangkok, coordinating with Thai security forces to carry out an arrest as part of an operation codenamed Bayonet on July 5, 2017. To kick off the operation, an administrative inspection was conducted at the location of Alphabay's server in Canada. To avoid disrupting the plan, Cases' employees were forced to disconnect the server from Alphabay without notifying Cases. Simultaneously, in Thailand, a staged act to lure Cases out of his hideout was set in motion. A Thai police officer in plainclothes deliberately backed his car into the gate of Cases' home, making it appear as an accident caused by mistakenly stepping on the gas. Another plainclothes officer approached, playing the role of a neighbor, cursing and calling Cases' name to gauge his reaction. But there were no signs that the mastermind would emerge. Not giving up, Another accidental step on the gas was staged, and this crash proved worth every penny of insurance. Cases finally stepped out of his house. He emerged holding a phone, wearing blue shorts and no shirt, still not letting go of the device. Cases walked around, inspecting the damage to his villa's gate, unaware that he was surrounded by agents. While Cases was waiting, back in the U.S., the signal for the full takedown was given. Despite attempting to flee with lightning speed, Cases couldn't escape the handcuffs. Immediately afterward, investigators swiftly searched Cases' residence and found the computer he was using to run Alphabay. At that moment, Cases was trying to figure out why his server in Canada had been disconnected for unknown reasons. From the time of his arrest to his detention, the phone seized from Cases' hand was kept in an active state. From the confiscated computer, the FBI also uncovered the password Cases used to log into Alphabay. With this, there was enough evidence to confirm that this was indeed Alpha02, the target the investigators were after, the operator of the world's largest black market. Cases' arrest was kept completely confidential, with the FBI withholding the announcement of capturing the mastermind to protect future investigations. The sudden disconnection of Alphabay and the disappearance of Alpha02 infuriated millions of the site's users. After days of Alphabay's absence, people suspected the site's owner had stolen all their Bitcoin, likening it to the scam of the century by evolution in the past. During the arrest, investigators also discovered that Cases had meticulously documented all his assets, making it easy for the FBI to seize his wealth. The confiscated assets included 4 luxury cars, from a Lamborghini to a Porsche, numerous properties in Thailand, Florida, Antigua, and the island of Cyprus, and a villa under construction in Bangkok. Cases also had a total of 11 bank accounts, including 3 in Thailand, 1 in Switzerland, and 1 in Liechtenstein. A large amount of cryptocurrency was also seized, valued at $8.8 million at the time. Logs also indicated that approximately 840,000 bitcoins, worth around $450 million, had passed through Alphabay for transactions, with a commission fee of 2 to 4%. The FBI estimated that Cases earned between $9 million and $18 million in commissions from all these transactions. According to Alexander's notes, he claimed to have a net worth of $23 million on Alphabay. At the time of his arrest, there were 250,000 items listed for sale, making it 20 times larger than the Silk Road at the time of its takedown. After Cases' arrest, a Canadian news outlet interviewed his father, who gave the typical "my son was a good boy at home" response. His father said Cases was a kind person with no criminal record and no history of drug abuse. The experience led to Cases' self-destruction. During his days in detention, facing genuine despair, he feared ending up like Ross Ulbricht, the Silk Road's creator, imprisoned for life without parole. And so, Cases made his final choice. On July 13, 2017, 8 days after his arrest, Cases was found to have hanged himself in his cell using a towel. The news caused a major stir in Thai public opinion at the time. The Wall Street Journal broke the story to the world, announcing that Alphabay had been seized by the FBI, and its owner had passed away. This sent shockwaves of panic through the black market community. Countless conspiracy theories emerged about Cases' death. Was he killed by another black market boss? Was he murdered by the FBI? Why did he take his own life? Darknet forums buzzed with discussions about the event. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, in a press conference on July 20, 2017, stated that this was undoubtedly one of the most significant criminal cases of the year. Law enforcement and justice agencies were facing new challenges from domestic and transnational criminal organizations who believed they could evade justice by diving into the underworld. He emphasized that the operation to dismantle Alphabay, as well as Hansa, sent a clear message to criminal organizations. You are no longer safe. You cannot escape. It's worth noting that previous operations to crack down on the underworld were no less intense. The takedown of the Silk Road in 2013 and the arrest of its operator, or Operation Bayonet in 2014, also temporarily paralyzed the online underworld. However, things eventually returned to normal, with new generations of black markets on the dark web continuing to sprout one after another. And to this day, somewhere in the Internet's underworld, a marketplace like Alphabay still exists. Only its scale remains unknown.